So I don't really know what I need to actually be filming. I got to get into this mode again. I haven't done it in a while. The mics work, but it sounds like some crazy shit. Let's see. Like even now, I don't really know what I need to be saying, so I'm about to turn this shit off. But I figured I at least want to check the placement of the camera so there's not any like dead spots. I noticed in some of the videos there's like dead spots where it's like you can't see something. I think this is kind of perfect, especially right here next to the Zazzle thing, my mascot and shit. This is the hot end. One of my hot ends died. And not hot end, but the heater element died. So I've got to replace that. Also, this is actually on. But as I've been saying, it's not so much. There is a musical aspect that is core, but it's not all about music. One of the things that I do with this is I've been experimenting. You've heard me talk about the brain stimulation and the electrical stimulation. Well, I've been doing vagus nerve stimulation for about a year. And I'm not even gonna lie, the vast majority of it has been uneventful, primarily because I have an outcome that I'm looking for. The outcome is vigilance, you see. All I want is that when I put this shit on, that I want to be able to want to do what I'm doing until I turn this off. It doesn't matter if it's 2 hours or 8 hours, right? The electrode is plastic, and the voltages are super low. So I'm playing with, and it also has this effect on, immune system function, all these other things. But I'm playing with low voltages, using about 10 milliamps, continuous. So, and then there's a resistance from the plastic as well. So it's not so much about getting a clinical a clinical result. It's about what is the continuous outcome that I can get over days, weeks, months, years, that kind of thing. I feel like all the experimentation I've been doing up to this point has been putting my body in a more adaptable state. Every time I don't fuck myself up, my body heals back stronger. Or at least that's what I'm telling myself. So I'm not looking for it to be right. I'm looking for the long-term efficacy of the exploration to trend towards optimal. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to have this instant I turn on the electricity. That's, there is an aspect of that that's already there, but it's not so much about trying to get it to be the greatest ever kind of shit. It's not interesting. And those types of things, those are short-lived, especially if they're highly intense. It's like I'm not looking for intensity in that way. I'm looking for something ambient, like a wearable cup of coffee, but half a cup. If you can imagine, like wearing a half a cup of coffee all day. It's fucking up. Now, please excuse my scratchy lenses and all of that. I will try to treat the camera as if this is your perspective. So please turn the video around to the back camera. See, this is the front with the big scratch on it. This is the other. So I'm trying to have a way with this camera, especially now that this, these types of things, this type of interaction might be the beginning of the next way that we interact. So I'm trying to explore this as functionally as possible. But I will say this, I mean, I don't go out anyway, hardly, and so being trapped inside with 10 rolls of printer filament, internet access and electricity is not the worst thing in the world. I have a feeling that the things that are going to pop out of this space during this time are about to be some ignorant shit. So you know. Okay, so this is the first test. So let me put this back here. Okay, so this is the first test. So let me shut the camera off because I can't see the footage while I'm shooting it. I have to account for things like the discrepancy of the amount of light coming in from outside to the amount of light on the inside of the tent. Are things being blocked? Things like that. So give me, the next video will be longer and more integrative into the process as you see it here, and we'll go from there and just build this up over the next few weeks.